The rotary. It's an obstacle that countless Cape Cod residents have to circumnavigate every single day in some way, shape, or form. For many of them, it may very well be the most stressful part of their day, which is understandable. There's a bit of a chaotic element to multiple lanes of traffic with several points of exit and entry all meeting up in the same circle at varying speeds. For visitors to Cape Cod arriving here by way of the Bourne Bridge, the Bourne Rotary is the first thing they see, and when they're done with it, it's likely the last thing they want to see. Again, that chaotic element is front and center here. Of course, not every vehicular roulette wheel offers up the same white-knuckle experience. Here at the west end of Hyannis, the Rotary has a much more relaxed atmosphere, with everyone coming and going with relative ease and order. This pattern seems to continue with each traffic circle the farther we get from the hustle and bustle. In fact, in the more rural areas, the name even changes to something a little more polite sounding, the Roundabout. It's got a bit of a European air about it. But for our European friends who are accustomed to driving on the left side of the road and traveling around the circle in a clockwise motion, there's this little sign here as a reminder. Now, if we're talking about one of the most unique, historical, and least stressful roundabout traffic circle rotaries around, we'll have to take a trip to this neighborhood that hugs the Bass River in South Yarmouth, where River and Pleasant Streets converge. They say one way to know who the tourist is and who the local is that the tourist will actually go around this traffic circle while the locals just drive right through. But no matter how drivers approach it, it's entirely possible that this little roundabout was the precursor to the modern-day rotary. Quite often, the rotaries that we come across in our travels tend to have some type of landscaping on the inner circle. What stands out about this one here on River and Pleasant is that it's a two-tiered brick structure. So while it's known as the first rotary in the United States, that may not have even been its original intention.
This rotary traffic circle, whatever you would like to call it, put here about 1904, 1905 by a gentleman named Charles Henry Davis, a local here, lived right across the street. It originally started as an animal watering trough. As to whether he plunked it here as an animal watering trough or a rotary, not really sure whether it started out as one and graduated to the other or had an original purpose.
Although he may have inadvertently started the trend of rotaries from coast to coast, it's possible that Davis's involvement with the National Highway Association as one of its founding members had a direct impact on the roadways that we take for granted on a day-to-day basis.
I wouldn't necessarily say his fingerprints are on it, but his ideas are probably parts of it. Probably making more direct routes to and from various places. At the dawn of the automobile, people were becoming more mobile, relying less on animal transportation and more machines. Early cars obviously didn't go that fast, but they couldn't handle the kind of rough terrain like a horse could as much. So they were trying to level ground and make more direct routes to certain areas instead of like S-curves and everything around the landscape. It was more a straight shot, as much as one could have.
100 years ago, Davis probably didn't envision the kind of clutter that today's modern-day roadways endure. As for the lasting legacy of his old neighborhood roundabout, Sam Lawrence has an affinity for the trivia that it provides.
To me, this is exactly what I want it to be. It's an obscure fact that you can bring up in a topic of conversation and surprise someone. Hey, did you know that the first rotary in the country was right here in South Yarmouth? Some people will know. You get out of town, people will go, no, I didn't know that. Where is it? Oh, it's right in the middle of the road in South Yarmouth. Oh, the thing that we ignore all the time? Yes, the thing that you ignore all the time.